Oh, aren't you supposed to start our? Get ready to go. You start this time.
Okay, hello, and welcome to talking to taking the journey together. I can't talk, but
Wow.
I started off wonderful, did I not?
Yeah, we had
Oh,
three
that's
people up there. I don't know what happened to the one. We must you must have scared them away when you
probably
said
because
what you
as I'm
said.
stumbling over my own words, and saying,
Yeah,
"Oh, hold on,
exactly.
look at this side." She don't even know what she's talking about.
So what do we? Since our great producer didn't put up a logo or anything, I don't know what he's doing, but maybe we can help him out. So anyway, who are we anyway?
We are Craig and Sharon Butts, and we are taking the journey together.
Oh wow,
Yes,
okay. It did start that way, didn't the show start that way?
it did.
That's what I thought.
It did. And yeah, thank you.
We got our names up there too.
Yes,
Okay, wow. So
at least we can't forget who we are.
no, I don't think so. People won't let us. Either we won't let us
No,
do
that's
that.
not the right one.
That is.
No.
I gotta edit it, Sharon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just up there.
So why don't you tell a little bit what our let me do what I need to do since we're
did.
arguing right now and we'll be
Exactly.
talking about
Okay.
arguments,
Okay.
how at least to
Sweetheart,
deal with them, how to deal with the
sweetheart,
conflict.
I understand that you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I just did not realize that you had done that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm not impressed, but keep on. Go ahead and let folks know what's going on here.
Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
um, we are taking the journey together, and in taking the journey together, we believe that we are going to relate. Doesn't matter what your mother, father, sister, brother, Jesus, or anybody else says, we are going to relate. But at taking the journey together, we try to focus on helping people relate in a balanced way. And what that means is that you will find a person that you enjoy being with and have a friendship with, and you will build that friendship into a lovership. And once you two agree and you build it into a lovership, then that is a balanced relationship, a thriving relationship, or a healthy relationship. And it is what we strive for.
Okay. Wow. Are we?
Did I give you enough time?
Yeah. I just thinking. I mean, we're looking up in the air. I guess.
Oh, my
Do we?
mic is low.
Your mic is low. What do you mean, mic is low? Hold on for a second. Let's see what somebody says. Her mic is low. Okay. We're try try it now.
Okay,
He's saying the mic
how
is
about
low.
now?
And
Am I
thumbs up or thumb down.
am I good?
I don't know. He's still looking. Thumbs up or thumb down. Thumbs up or thumbs down because we can see you. Her mic is still low. I don't know why it would be low. I don't know how why it would be low. I got hers up as
Am I better?
I got her mic up high as can be
And,
now.
and I'm right on.
Yeah.
You can hear yours first.
One, two. No, say something.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, it is kind of
It
low.
is.
I don't know why it is. Try it now.
Testing, testing. It's still low.
Yeah, it
Well,
is.
I guess I'm just going to have to speak louder. I have to use my classroom voice. How about that? Testing, testing. Are we happy to be here?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't either.
I really don't know what's going on. Why the board has got your voice low in this particular case. I can't help it, but go ahead. You have to talk right on the mic.
I'm right on.
Okay.
I'm right on it. And
Wow, it is
like,
low.
It is. I don't even hear it like anything's coming from it.
No, it is
I
something
know
coming
it
from
is.
it. It's just that. Go ahead, say something now.
Okay, testing. Nope.
Oh yeah, it's really low.
Yes. So anyway, somewhere along the line, we will find out and figure out what the
2, 3, 4.
what's
Say something again.
testing.
Your mic is.
No. Well, there I am. Whatever
That hurt.
whatever that squeak was that kind of cleared our eardrums. I guess I'm not low now, right?
No, that hurt. Oh man, we just lost our audience.
Wow.
They were wondering what we were doing, playing around like we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. Well,
Conflict. That's what this is all about. Using bridge statements, doing conflicting time.
yes. And before we really get there, let's talk about this, which we forgot to put on today.
Yeah, we did. I think the most important thing we want to talk about, Sharon, is this. Once you let everybody know about this, whoever's watching. Hey, make sure you go share again. Make sure you share. We want to make sure that this beautiful ATR network gets its props. So if you are listening to the show, make sure you go share your friends, your family, and of course your enemies, especially your relationships. You want you to go share because you're going to learn something today when it comes to conflict. And we know when it comes to many of our cultural conditioning folks that look like us, folks who are cousins, we do a lot of drama. We have a lot of conflict that goes in our relationship. I don't care if it's rough. Most of the time, striving relationships always have drama. But hey, we ain't too good when we get into a healthy relationship or a balanced relationship, even a spiritual relationship, if you want to call it that too, which is all right. You're still going to have conflicts. They're going to come to pass. And we're going to learn a little bit about conflicts and the different kind of strategies we can use for these conflicts. But it's not about it's not about if, it's more about when you're going to have conflict, which is feel stressful situations in your relationship. So I mean, let's get for real about it.
Yes.
We're just going to try to be right about it by helping you out. But let's talk about what are the things that happened to us, Sharon.
Yes.
That was a very beautiful between both.
We have an experience, or should I say we had an experience that we are very proud of and we're pleased about, and we want to share it with you and announce to you what our joy is in this particular situation. So, for a while, we have been considering taking our relationship experience to the next level. And so at the beginning of this year, we decided the time had come. So my husband found a school, IAP Career College. And after 2 months, we are now certificated relationship coaches. Yay!
So we official now.
Yeah.
We got what you call the sheepskin.
We got our paper.
Yes, we went and got ourselves some education. Got some education in this particular matter. So not just experience, now we got the education.
Yes. Hey. So we are not therapists. We are not counselors. We are relationship coaches.
And sometime in the near future, we're going to offer our coaching skills that you've been getting free. But this case, the coaching skills will be more catered and tailored towards you.
Yes.
And your relationship. So stay tuned on this beautiful live stream channel.
Yes. ATR.
And we'll be telling you more about it and how you can get a hold of us and kind of go from there.
Yes. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We've got
In fact, we got to take each other out this weekend since we just got our certificates.
Absolutely.
Our sheepskin.
And celebrate.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now you can, be more counselor to me. Since we're talking about,
yes.
Was it coach? I mean, cheerleaders and
inspirational coaches. Yes.
It'd be more inspirational one another. Huh?
Exactly.
Exactly.
We have a comment up there.
Oh, someone's got a comment. Let's see who's commenting up there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. A miss. I don't know if that's a woman or a guy. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for the congratulations. We really appreciate that. We definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I got. I'm assuming that must be a sponsor underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have put a sponsor up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Donna's Delicious Delights.
Donna Delicious Delights. Wow.
3Ds.
3D. I like that. So thank
Yes.
you for our sponsor. Hopefully our sponsor will come in, and when we stop in, we'll make sure that we let them know that they were our sponsor, and
Yes.
we'll get some of that free delights. Oh, we just check them out. How's that?
Check them out. I love Delicious Delights.
Where's that at?
I have no idea.
But
It's
well,
no, it's
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 5711 Montgomery.
it's 4711 Montgomery
Is
Street.
that the one place we've been to before, Delicious Delights?
I don't know. I've not. No, we've never
Donna's,
been
that's
there
not her
because
Delicious Delights?
trust me, I remember
Okay.
food
I thought she
places.
was a Jamaican lady.
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
no.
That's
You're
not
you're
her.
thinking about another place.
Okay.
We've
Well,
not been to Donna's Delicious Delights, but we are going to absolutely do that. Cakes, pies, carry out hot foods. Oh yeah, we got to check
she
out.
want to do something. No, we just not give. Well, heck yes.
Yeah.
We coming for it. We're coming for it. Bridge statements. Let's start talking about bridge statements. Again, when it comes to conflict in your relationship, when it comes to stress in your relationship, I don't care if your relationship you think is built in heaven. I don't care if you have a twin relationship or you got soul tie relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have stressful situations, which are all in the family of conflict.
Yeah. It's like I mentioned once that about my grandmother and how we were just like this, you know. She knew what was going on with me. I knew what was going on with her. I could, you know, I knew when she wasn't feeling well. She knew when I wasn't feeling well. We knew how when each other were in really good moods we just knew. But still, there was the one time that is still with me when we had a big argument, and it was like the end of the world for me, because the relationship was like she should understand my side, and I didn't understand her side. I didn't think about the fact that I should have understood her side.
Again, what you're talking about is the idea
Mm-hmm.
that with certain people, I'm not going to have stressful, i.e., conflict with them.
Exactly.
And that would be, in this case, you thought of with your mom.
My grandmother.
Grandmother. It's just not a true statement.
No, it isn't.
Conflict and stress is all about what's connected when it comes to being human beings in this world, period.
Yes.
And if you've never really been connected to one another or took any time to know each other beforehand, or used methods of trying to be 21 questions to find out who you are, or check to see, as we talk about thriving relationships, to see if something's in common with one another,
right,
ones that are very important, then, and I'm going to leave this last one, the cultural conditioning that many of our diverse cultural folks, we have had that cultural conditioning where there's been a real battle because of slavery between our relationships in the first place. And it's still carried on. I come out of a single parent family. You did, but your dad, or you said more than one dad, was very quiet and not talkative enough, especially because we're down south. But anyway it goes, we haven't had good images, good stories about relationships in the first place between black and white. So we still having that kind of cultural conditioning that we ain't supposed to really get along with one another. But we don't pay attention to that backdrop comes out with that drama. We still see it on shows today.
Yeah.
And that drama we're only attached to the only they have. Only they have. I know we ain't gonna never have that kind of problem. And anytime there is a stressful situation and there's a conflict, it's going to be, it can be, and it will be tagged as a conflict. And we'll talk more in detail about that. So don't think you're immune from conflict. I mean, don't think that. And don't think that we're immune from conflict. No. We're keeping it real and right. Conflict exists when it comes to relationship. And so certain cultures, it's even that much more readily there because of outside influence and past things that have caused that, like what's what? Not humanity. What's it called? Harmonization.
Yeah. Harmony.
Harmony. Thank you.
Yes.
I was going to say unity, but I know you had the right word as a teacher. Yeah.
Now, when you said something that made me think of something, as far as people dealing with the misconception um, of stress in the relationship, or disagreement in the relationship and things
Mhm.
like that. A lot of times, parents will argue. Excuse me,
Mhm.
will argue when the kids go to bed. They will hold on to that anger until the kids go to bed, or they will go into another room and they will whisper argue
Mhm.
so that the children won't know. So the kids grow up thinking, oh, you're not supposed to argue. There's a difference in arguing and knock down, drag out fighting, but they don't understand. So they grow up and they don't know how to deal with conflicts that do appear.
Again, that just gives the perception, a misconception. I think it's disingenuous, to be
Yes,
honest with you.
I agree.
That conflict just doesn't exist.
I agree.
You may be watching on TV conflict, since you just brought that up.
Yes.
Wars going on, violence that's going on in your community.
Yes.
Okay. You may be even doing video games that
Right.
are all about showing being in conflict and you're fighting too at the same time.
Yes.
So it's not like conflict doesn't exist outside of your door. But there's no doubt about
Or
it.
within your doors.
I was going to say, but no doubt about it. You just may not refer to or pay attention to whatsoever because of what you just gave an example. Conflict in your own home at the same time. So what we want to do is dive into this. We're going to talk about some more examples because we're all about trying to come up with bridge statements. I think we made enough clarity to understand that when it comes to conflicts, we'll talk a little bit more about it, or stressful situation, that's part of life.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
It's just part of life. Some more and others, some more stress. Some situations are more stressful than others, but having stressful things in life is still part of life. Some people say that there's good stress too. You ever heard that before?
I have heard
that. We don't want to talk about that, but some people say there's good stress.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start this thing. Bridge statements. Where was I? Oh, I didn't even go up here, did I?
Well, you started it.
Yeah, I forgot to say that when it comes to managing, or in this particular case, most of us, when it comes to stressful situations, we either get defensive or worse, evasive.
Yes.
Either defensive or first or evasive. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. Walk away, gone for a day.
I'm evasive.
Yeah,
I'm evasive.
Yeah, I'm not defensive. I forgot to put down this. I forgot about that because that's also part of being being part of a stressful situation.
Yes.
It's called what?
It's straightforward.
No, I say offensive.
Oh, offensive. Yes.
Many times, we're creating it right here. Where we're going. Offensive. Many times I'm offensive. Meaning, and this book you call it offensive. A lot of people offensive too, but I use that as the word that I'm most on the office. Offense.
Yes.
I think I'm protecting myself.
Exactly.
Where you would think he's been offensive.
And I, as the on the defensive side, is I'm protecting myself. I'm being defensive by explaining what's going on because I understand, and all I can think about is if I can tell you my reasoning for whatever it is that you don't agree with, or whatever is going on, if I can explain it to you, I know you'll understand and you'll know that I'm not doing anything to go against you.
How's that been working?
What? In other words, no, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
No,
yeah.
It don't work. It doesn't work with me or pretty much anybody else.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Again, if you think in your relationship that stress doesn't exist, I know they do that pie after, nights and ever after and all that other stuff they show on TV. That's just not true. Stress is all part of life.
Yeah,
period.
It is.
All part of life. So since this is one of the reactions that we do when stress comes. Whether we think it's not there or not. Most of the time, when you think stress exists, you take the defensive road because you don't think it shouldn't exist, so you want nothing to do with it. So therefore, it doesn't exist.
Yes.
But it still is there.
It definitely is. And what we don't even pay attention to is that stress is there even when we are children, when we are small children. First grade was stressful. It's like it's always there, but you don't learn what to do with it because nobody labels it then.
Well, we're as we focus on the relationship part, which obviously what you said is one of the reasons why it's not, looked upon. You also have to say that your body, which we don't pay attention much, our body feels
Yes, and
the
reacts
stress,
to it.
to the stress.
Reacts to it.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
even pay attention to our
Mhm.
body will feel this.
Yes.
Our body many times can be the very monitoring device if we don't believe in stress.
Right.
That's telling us there's a stressful situation going on right
Mhm.
now. I'm not
Yes.
feeling, my stomach feels bad. You know, she said I got butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah.
Or some people say I got frogs in my stomach or something like that. Or you may have a stomach ache, or
A
you may have a
headache.
headache, migraines,
Yeah.
you know, something.
Yeah.
Or you might have muscle memory where, you know, you maybe had a physical fight or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
Then or some other time. But your body will come across
Yeah.
in such a way that it will give you that physiology, as they call
Yeah.
it,
There
where it
there
has to
was
affect with it.
there
Yeah.
was a time I was having migraines on a regular basis. I
Mhm.
mean, at least 2-3 times a month I was having migraines.
Mhm.
I made some life changes. Migraines went away.
Yeah, food also. Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes
no, it wasn't food. It
some,
was
some, some
yeah.
sometimes it could be your circumstances around you,
Mhm.
where if you were too many times in arguments
Yeah.
which are the stressful
Uh-huh.
situations that we're talking about, one of the stressful
Yeah.
situations we're talking about, then it could cause that. So the end thing is, did you leave that person?
Yeah.
Did that person change? Or was it something you found that maybe you were the catalyst?
Yeah.
But even though some people say you can argue by yourself, you ever heard that before?
Oh yeah.
You can make yourself stressful.
Yes. I've done it.
Oh, okay.
And it was not well, you do it too, but it was
I
one
do that.
you
Don't I?
do.
I do anger
But
myself
when
I
I
got from
was
my uncle.
making wedding dresses and
Mhm.
and you know, doing formal wear and stuff,
Mhm.
every now and then something would just not go right, and I knew what the solution was, and no matter what I did I couldn't get it right, and I would just start arguing. I don't know if I was arguing with me, the fabric, or the machine,
Well, that kind of argument that you do for
but it was
yourself
stressful.
is definitely stressful. Um, um, no doubt about it. It's not twice as much stressful when you have someone else who's adding to the stress.
Yes,
Which
that's
is the kind
true.
of arguments that
That
we're really talking
that's
about. We're
exactly
definitely
true.
talking about.
Yes.
So basically, from that standpoint of view, these are just the worst ways to manage
Mhm.
stress.
Yes.
They really are.
Yes.
Because overall, we're trying to do this to manage our stress.
Mhm.
That's what we're doing.
Mhm.
And in fact, I found out, and we know that there are 5 great stress management styles or
Mhm.
strategies.
Yes.
There's a preemptive strike. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
A post-mortem strike,
Oh,
a
that doesn't sound
protective
good.
time, and an admission statement. And the last statement, or the first that we're talking about right now, we're talking about the other 5 later on, is called
Bridge
bridge
statement.
statements. So we're going to talk about bridge statements, how bridge statements can help us out. So now
Yes.
let's dive into it. Get your friends, get your enemies, get those people that you know of that you need to find out, this good information. And I'm going to real quickly push on something here and have Sharon show real quickly. Come on, Sharon. Come on, beautiful Sharon. Show everybody about this button before we get into that.
There
Right
it
there,
is.
the hot button. You see
Yes.
below. Please email us at this email address. You see it again, $5. It goes to ATR. It goes to this great station that allows us to be on and speak our truths, what we feel, what we think. That would definitely do you some help. So please, if you want that hot button, you want to put it on, and we'll start conversations with people that you know, people you like, or people you want to know and you want to like.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, they most of the time won't have that answer. But it's a good way to start to see where they're at, where they're coming from, and at the same time, it helps out as a good starter conversation to break that cold ice and make it very warm
Mhm.
from the standpoint of knowing that person from the inside, not just the outside, folks, not just the outside. The inside is very important. Now, if you get both, that's really cool, no doubt
Yes.
about it. But
I'm
you
gonna keep
want
it
to
up
start
in-
from the inside.
Absolutely.
First. Hot. You want to be hot? I wanna be
Honest,
hot. You wanna be hot?
open, and transparent.
Exactly.
And
Say
you
it
have to
again,
be
Sharon.
honest, open, and transparent.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that bridge statements are going to work.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get right into that. Let's get
Yes.
right into it. We look at, and we're going to look at the times that we as couples, many times as couples, we ourselves are standing on the banks of what?
Turbulent waters.
Oh, yeah, there's some turbulent waters in
Ooh.
front of us. We ain't feeling comfortable about things. And the water is turbulent. I'm thinking about some times when I see my mom or I see my wife go like this. Now, one time she went like this and the earring came off, but
But,
I've
uh-oh.
seen this. I even got a picture of her walking away, and I ain't never seen the back of the beauty from, as they say, behind, turn in such a way where I never saw her before. Man, I'm like, okay, I can tell she mad. It's a turbulent time right here. Turbulent
And
time.
you could tell by the waves,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So what are some turbulent times that you can think of in dealing with me? We're standing at that bank in turbulent times. Come on, be truthful.
Okay. Your voice rises about 6 decibels.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's not like this.
No,
Oh, okay.
not even.
All right.
It's like, you know, I'm not even going to say that because that's going to sound ugly.
Okay. Well, okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to say it
Give
anyway.
a description of it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's what it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
You know how they used to say you would your voice would wake the dead.
Oh. I'm going to take it like this. I got it from my uncle. He was like that. When he used to speak,
so that's
everybody would stop and listen to him.
Okay, so you woke him up too. That's what I heard.
No, I got it from him.
No, I'm saying that's what I heard yelling. Would you be quiet? Your uncle, you woke him up too. The uncle you got it from.
Oh, okay. I never thought I could ever wake him up. Ever. Not how he acts whatsoever. But I feel you.
I wish I
man.
could have met him.
I know he would love you because he just was that kind of way. He was like a big bear from everybody else. I mean, he was like a grizzly bear, but when it comes to women, certain women, he was just always soft as can be. Just don't get on his bad side. I'm gonna say, don't get on his bad side. You don't want to get on his bad side. I confronted one time on his bad side. I thought, man, I'd have to go toe to toe with him, or if it came too bad, I had to shoot him.
But if you knew bridge statements, if you'd use bridge statements,
you're gonna be smart.
No. I'm moving.
I didn't have no bridge statement at that time. I didn't know nothing about it. I was trying to
But
protect
I know
myself.
that. But I'm bridging. I'm bridging.
Okay.
I'm saying if you had bridge statements, if
Okay.
you understood bridge statements, then
Yes.
that would have avoided you feeling like you had to do that.
He wasn't my wife or my girlfriend.
And I'm saying that
He's
for
my
the
uncle.
exactly.
He's just my
I'm
uncle.
saying that for the standpoint of, our couples who are listening who have those moments where it's like, they're swapping
Well, we're
spit
gonna talk a little bit more about
from a
that.
distance.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more.
Oh,
about
okay.
that. I mean, if we keep on flapping this way, we're not gonna give them some good information.
I know.
That's gonna be a help to them.
Yes.
So that's more important than just our story.
Exactly.
It's important too at the same time. So anyway, that turbulent waters, we always come to it, and there's a lot of conflict when it comes to African Americans because of history of slavery and all that stuff. So we're always, many times, not all of us, but a lot of us have a lot of drama that's going on. This is what we call drama, and we're right at that turbulence water, and we're many times ready to jump off, and many times we'll jump off, or we may actually be like we're on a plane together, and one of them says, I'm gonna make sure this plane crashes. I don't care even I'm on it. This plane is crashing and burning. And that happens.
That's
a
a
lot.
bad place to be.
Well, it is. It is. I used to hear it when I was younger that it was a lot because a lot of us had self-hate.
Yeah.
We didn't like each other.
Yeah.
So, and that was
We didn't like ourselves. And if we don't like
Exactly.
ourselves, we're not going to like anybody else.
So unfortunately, many of when you do it that way, you lack the wisdom to build bridges that will allow you to cross without drowning or crashing the plane.
Yes.
In the issues itself.
Yes.
So anyway, it's about the issue because you could get so caught up in the issue, you crash, you die. You know how it is sometimes. Like, I don't want to be with you no more anyway. You don't want to be more. Fuck you. All the words. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Or we say words like that. We don't even care about one another whatsoever.
Yes.
Period.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously. It's been as far as some people end up. The domestic violence that comes along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
so that's how far. That's another metaphor to look at us jumping in turbulent waters. Because when you think about turbulent waters, if you don't know how to swim, if you're smart and swimming, you're not saving somebody, you ain't jumping in no turbulent waters.
No,
you're not.
No.
And if you don't know how to swim and you jump in turbulent waters, guess what? You're lucky if one of you come out of the line.
Yep.
Because most of the time, it's going to drown you both.
Yes. Turbulent waters, it's just not the place to mess around.
No.
So we need to get off the banks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do, these bridge statements. These statements provide a way for couples to what? Get off the banks.
Yeah.
Through difficult times. given situations that we can look at as some problem solving mode. Now, a lot of us hear the problem solving mode or problem solving when we've been at our jobs or been at our work. We
Yeah.
are not problem solvers. Because I guess jobs want to make sure we get along there so they can make the money off of us.
Right. You know,
That's
but
part of what that is.
but the thing is, there are conflicts on the job too.
exactly.
But you just have to handle them differently. You give more credence to the conflicts on your job than you do the conflict in your family, in your relationship with your partner, with your mate, with the person you're building with. You don't give them that same respect most of the time.
I would say, because you just said that the stress that a conflict at work, what you're trying to say is you would probably go out of your way to apply some kind of conflict resolution, whether the company taught you that, which most companies do, or on your own because you want to keep this job, you want to make sure you have some money, you don't want this person to hurt you, yada, 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 then you're going to try some kind of conflict resolution, one way or the other. Or you got a union there. Sometimes you have unions, and unions will come out of the way to have a conflict resolution. Well, in our relationships, we don't necessarily have unions and people like that.
And
when it comes to
or mediators.
So mom or dads or pastors, anyone else. We's on our own.
But sometimes moms, dads, and pastors are the worst choices because I said sometimes because they feel like they have to take sides.
True.
And that's the problem. If we have a conflict and your mother is going to be the mediator, she's going to lean more I would be concerned that she would lean more towards your side.
She may, but she may not.
I know, but I'm saying that would add more stress if that's the road you're going. So that's why, an outsider or,
since I brought that up,
a coach, a relationship coach
it is needed.
Yes.
And that's where we could help you out. But I do know one thing, as you speak of, a lot of times in a lot of big families, Southern families, and even families up north, cultural condition wise, that family is very, very important. And therefore, when I used to say, when you got to watch out when you're married someone, you might be marrying their family.
You are.
Yeah.
You
so
are.
You see, you are, because you have a big family connected, because you're down south, which is that big for you. Up north, where I grew up, and because of the fact that I came out of a single parent family, I don't look at family as being something that I'm married to, because since you've been with me, you ain't seen much of my family.
And I think
before you haven't.
No, I haven't.
It's not even that connection. My uncles being together for years and years, they really didn't connect much physically at all, let alone at all. Didn't they feel they even had to from that end. So that's not been a story or for me. And there's a lot of people going that way, especially a lot of younger people are growing up right now. They're not necessarily connected to family. I'm talking about blood-wise.
Exactly.
They're just on their own, connected to the tribe, connected to different people from that end.
But I think one of the problems that you have, I wouldn't even call it a problem. One of the reasons that I am that
that's a conflict. It's bringing stress to me right
now. Okay. I understand where you are. No, but seriously, what I was saying was, I think it was more your family dynamics, the single parent situation, than the fact of the geographics. I don't think it was so much of you being up north as it was the dynamics.
To drive on the streets, to take all the surveys, you don't really know.
No. I'm just saying I do know some people from.
What you thinking?
Exactly. That's what I said. I think it could be because I know a lot of people who are family deep from the north and the Midwest.
I know many who are not.
All that.
I know many from the East Coast who are not. And the recognition of those who are not have everything to do with the fact that you got to break away from the tradition that families, especially black families, are still together with mother and father. Not at all.
No,
that's not. And that black families
are
not
case.
Coming out of what you call latchkeys, coming out of sleeping on different couches, and some of the words because you've seen at your particular school since we're getting into so the tradition, the traditionalist is what I'm trying to refer to that you're speaking of, doesn't really exist, and it doesn't help, and we're trying to be a coach to help all because they have a right to a relationship.
Exactly.
They have a right to be able to have a healthy relationship too. Even though they may not have came out of one, they still have that right. So we want to help them out from that place.
And I think a lot of young people who are starting families now, I think they're trying to do that. They're trying to build a close-knit family unit, even though they didn't have one.
It was called traditionally, we're going to move on to, in this particular country, but it was only for those who were privileged, the nuclear family. Don't you remember that word, the nuclear family?
Yes.
It's the mother and father, the picket fence.
And the
And-
2.5 children.
And I
Where's the
forgot
half
the
a
turkey in the
child?
oven. And
Yes.
at one particular time, that particular middle class neighborhood, black folks couldn't even move.
Yes. And Fido barking at the door to come in.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
yeah.
But we did move into the middle class. We did. And,
Yes.
And we're in the middle class. And we're in the middle class. Even though I think the middle class needs to once in a while, more than once, get back
Yes.
into the other community, the lower class community, people may want to call it the hood, you may call it. I think it's very, very important for them to do this. But at that, it did happen. It didn't stop stress.
No.
It didn't start.
It
conflict.
created more stress.
It didn't. It really did. And it
Yeah.
didn't help out in large numbers with that stress we ever had when there
Yeah.
wasn't really that image that we just talk about a mother and father again.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be that byproduct that we have to look at our X generation. What's it?
I
Z
don't know.
generation?
There's so many
Yeah, there's a
generations.
Z generation
Uh-huh.
and there's the X generation.
Yeah,
They're coming up that way.
generations are playing the alphabet soup game too.
Yeah. Well, they're
I can't
trying to-
keep
they're
up
trying-
with that.
there's- But it doesn't stop the fact that they're going to relate.
Exactly.
It don't make a difference what you say, me say, kids say. It don't make a difference. They're going to relate.
Mhm.
And so, because they're going to relate, we got to understand that there are things that can happen that can help you on that relationship.
Yes.
Because one thing we know is going to happen, they're going to have conflict. Probably more conflict when you have traditional kind of thoughts and thinking like you just got through saying. But
Yes.
they're not living that way. And
Right.
You don't have much examples for them to see anything different.
Exactly.
So they're going to have.
So
a
they're
lot of
making it
conflict.
up as they go.
Yeah, that's what most of them do.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So we want to talk about again what a bridge statement is. Okay, 2
Mhm.
couples, what approaching situation that they tend to lose the focus on what?
On they to lose their focus.
Yeah.
Lose their
You
focus.
just lost your
No,
focus.
no, it's because of the way you said it. Lose their focus and turn on one another.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Okay. So we can see a bridge statement as a word that I have used to describe that when couples, when they see themselves approaching a situation and they would attempt to lose their focus
Mm-hmm.
in what?
And turn on
one
each
another.
other.
See, I did that on purpose as part of a bridge statement to repeat what you said so that you knew I heard what you said.
And I'm glad you heard what I said because I understand what you said. And based on that, I can agree with you with the caveat
What's that?
that I have
You
a
see,
little,
brothers, they're always going to throw something else more. I'm just going to let you know that right now. This is going to happen.
and that's why I'm doing this because that's what I'm prone to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Cause a conflict, stress.
But I've agreed. So I'm trying to limit that. I agree
Okay, well,
with
come
you,
on.
but with the caveat
Mhm,
that I saw things just a little bit different unfolding.
mhm.
And so I'm going to leave it there unless you say, well, how did you see it?
No.
Otherwise, I'm gonna leave it right
I'm just
there.
to move on because
Yeah.
otherwise we could have you, especially you, going on with a whole bunch of
Mm,
different
no,
testimonies.
I'm
And
I'm
putting
done.
in your amendments, is that what I call them, as being a teacher. But yeah,
Yes.
we got some core stuff.
exactly.
Because I'm mostly, when it comes to counseling, we already talked about the styles.
Yes.
I'm mostly a laser
Oh yeah.
coach, and you are more organic. So you will
Yes.
call along with a whole bunch of stories that come
Mhm.
along with it. You be a laser
Examples.
coach, I go exactly right in
Mhm.
like a surgeon. Just go
Yeah.
cut in and let's get what we
Yeah,
need
yeah,
done.
you
So you
know,
can get that information and go with you as you need to take it with you. Some people, they ain't got no time for nothing else.
ain't anybody got time
And,
for
and
that.
they'll get the loveliness of having more of the organic side of you.
Yeah.
If they ever come and allow us to counsel with
Coach.
coach with them, whether a
Coach.
single person or a whole bunch of person, we can do that. You
Yeah.
may call me the bad cop and her the good cop. I don't really care from that end, but we're here to try to do you some information so that in this case you could take a higher ground or a better
Mhm.
way to go and apply.
And that's
good
what this is all about.
tactic. So a bridge statement, if it's applied at the right time and the right way, it gives you as a couple a way to move past reactionary ways, emotional charged discussions, into a place where you can better solve the issue at hand. And that's what this is all about. This statement is all about what we haven't gave you all of, but this strategy is all about a way that you can discuss things and solve the issue that's at hand without being too reactionary. And
Yeah.
we know some of us are more reactive than we are what?
Mhm.
Active.
Active. Yes.
And so
Proactive.
proactive. excuse me.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a way to diffuse the situation.
Exactly. And this is some proactive information and
Mhm.
knowledge you can learn.
Yes.
If this is helping you out and is really giving you something to say, because or something that you could take with you, please say something in the comments, or make sure that you want to say something to ATR. Make sure you send it on to your friends,
or ask a question.
and I'll ask a question if you want. We don't mind, but we're going to really get into this even that much more deeper when it comes to have to deal with the conflicts in your relationship or drama in your relationship, because that's just going to be about in your relationship. I don't care how long you've been there. It's realize not if, it's when. We want to give you some information, so proactively wise, so you can have some ways to be able to deal with it when it does come to pass. Okay, so what's the next one that we have we just talked about more in detail? If not really what?
It's not really building a bridge to walk across. It's about connecting two people by taking your truth and using words to connect that to what the other person's truth is saying. You know, what the other person is saying, which is their truth. Okay. Because this way you look at the bigger picture, or you believe in taking the higher road. It's another way of communicating during conflict.
Yes. And that's one thing that you and I were talking about before we got on here is, do you feel when it comes to conflict, let's say you do believe you'll have conflict, or you know it's going to exist. Do you feel that if conflict comes, I'm going to take the higher road? Am I going to look at things in a bigger picture? Am I going to do that? And then when I talked to you about it, you said to me you had a different idea of what a bigger picture was. In this case, a different idea of what a higher road is. Now, I want to ask you that because people may have a different idea of what a higher road and a bigger picture is when it comes to trying to have a main motivation in dealing with a conflict or drama. How's that?
Okay. And so okay, ask the question so that I can answer it straight out.
What is to you bigger picture or taking the higher road?
The bigger picture is I will just go along with what you say to make to keep the conflict down.
So what was that one we set up above?
That was evasive.
Exactly. So that's your bigger picture. That you're taking the higher road.
Yeah.
That is such a common. How many out there can raise their hand and say, that's been the common way I've been taught, that when I run into a conflict and it looks like in turn this is going to be an argument and I don't want to really hear it because I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to give you some metaphors. The boat is getting ready to go down. The airplane's getting ready to crash. That turbulent water is out there, and I know
and you don't have a life jacket,
or I may have to, tip over too. You let it happen because you get evasive.
Yes,
you can't walk out of the plane, and you can't really walk out of the boat.
Yes.
Now, if you're both together on that, metaphorically ledge, and the water's down below, I guess you could say, okay, I'm falling. The other person falls, you stand there and go, oh, I forgot.
Can you swim?
I'll have to tell you later on when that scenario was given one time. Okay.
Okay.
And you're in when I give you the scenario, you will be surprised what another answer would be.
Okay. I can't wait.
It's a higher ground one. How's that?
I can't wait.
So there are 5 kind of example bridge statements that we're going to talk about. 5. Hopefully, we may not get them all on this show.
We won't.
But we'll certainly want to make sure you come back and listen to the other ones. So hopefully, some good information that you're taking with you, because if not, shame on you. I know this is some good information that you're taking with you.
Yes.
It's going to help you out. These 5 statements or bridge statements are not all on what you would call all in
the
all
end all or the be all or
exactly.
the
They will
cure
be,
all.
but they will be very helpful.
Yes.
They will be very helpful, especially if you take that basic structure of that bridge. It's not just you two just standing there and walking together, giving each other roses and go, oh, it's all. No.
Let's walk into the sunset together.
We're talking about really looking into yourself, your truth, really looking into the other particular person and this particular truth. And then in turn speaking in such a way where it's connected together, like unity and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Hopefully this will be some statements that you will think about
Mhm.
doing when you have one of you guys, if not both, will do when
Yeah.
this comes.
And we have to understand that we can't say that all of these are 100% every time.
Mhm.
You've got to know when to do what and how to do it, and you need to
When
catch it
fold up.
in time.
No wind,
Exactly. Take the higher road. Yeah.
no wind to run. Don't count your blessings. In the middle when she's upset, or he's upset. No, go ahead.
So, he sings all the time, folks. Yes.
uh,
So, but anyway, that's one of the things I love and enjoy about him. He has these ready songs. But yeah, when we're talking about the solutions,
yes.
just know, so please don't come back and say, well, you said it would work.
Statement one: get your pencil, get your papers out, get your pencils and papers. We're getting ready to give you some good answer with our number one.
Yes.
Everybody ready? Hopefully you're ready, because we want to give you the first bridge statement. We are on the same team or side.
Yes. Okay. I can accept that.
Okay.
We're on the
You wanna
same
read it
team.
again?
We are on the same team
Or what?
or side.
You have a hard time. Look at your
No,
eyes.
because what I'm trying to do, I
Uh-huh.
I chose team
Okay.
instead
And
of
that's why I
side.
put both those up there.
Yeah.
Same team or side.
Yes.
Okay. Same team or side.
Yes.
Both mean the same thing.
They do.
Very
They
important.
do.
Both mean the same thing. And this first bridge statement is so very important, because many of us do not go into a relationship that way, with that thought process. Many of us are feeling process
Mhm.
or any memory from before.
Right.
It's mostly down to, I'm going to do her thing. She's going to want me to do her thing. And that's how we get along.
Mhm.
Or she's going to do her thing. I'm going to do my thing. And that's how we get along.
Mhm.
But this idea that we're on the same team, we're on
Yeah.
the same side.
Yeah. It doesn't.
No.
That's a hard place to
Yeah.
get to. So. But,
Yeah. Well, it's a hard place not to actually have, because
Mhm.
because being that we're on the same team and
Yeah.
same side is really a hard or a ground or a rock place to stand on.
It's
really
a
is.
great
It really
place.
is.
But what I'm saying is, when you don't have the background,
Yes.
it's a hard place to get to.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. We're trying to get everybody there. Hopefully for this.
Yes.
Hopefully we can. Okay.
Yes.
So there may be a number of bridge statements that my wife and I have used over the years. No doubt about it.
Mhm.
But just the reminder that not each of us are enemies, and that though things may appear one way, we are, after all, on the same side.
Mhm.
Again,
Yes.
we have to remind that though each other, that we are not each other's enemies, that though things may appear to be one way,
Mhm.
we, after all, are on the same side.
Yes.
Now, when I use that word, we are, after all, I choke like that, because in a lot of relationships, people don't feel after all.
Yes.
We are on the same side at all.
Exactly. After all, before all, ever. And
Or some feel we never was.
that's what I said, or ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you had to have been, if you decided to get into a relationship, a long-term relationship, at some point you
The
were,
beginning usually.
yeah,
When you go through the
Yeah.
courtship, put on
Mhm.
your best self, your best ambassador,
Yes.
to make the other person love you, fall in love with you, and all that
Mhm.
good stuff.
Yes.
That's when you came together for this fact of, oh, I think we can do this a long, long time.
And then one of you somewhere along the line went, psych. Yeah.
Well, that does come to pass.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But the beginning.
Yeah,
that's how it
definitely at
usually
the
starts.
beginning.
Yeah.
But when you get to the point where, you have forgotten that you're on the same side, or that after all comes in. If you have forgotten that part, that's where the turbulent waters are.
Yes. Hey, we got another particular. Of course, they see it up there. Another sponsor. We had to make sure we started Seaport Cuisine on Bird Street. We have to make sure we stop there. Let them know that
Yes.
they're one of our sponsors on our show. Love that.
I love that.
I love that too. So
Yes.
we're here 6 p.m. every Thursday, as we're still talking more about bridge statement. So if we feel we are on each other's side, that's a good beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Very good beginning. The important beginning when it comes to a healthy relationship, a thriving relationship, You've got to be rooted in the fact that we are to be on each other's side, i.e., we're together,
Yes.
i.e., we're union,
Mm-hmm.
i.e., we are we.
We're one.
Exactly. That has to be something that's
Mhm.
ingrained in you or moved to be ingrained in you.
Mhm.
If it's not, it's going to be hard when it comes to overcoming stressful or conflict situations. Really
It's
gonna be
like
tough.
it's like oh gosh, what was it? Who was it? I think it was Muhammad Ali
Mm-hmm.
that signed that book with me, we. Was
Yeah,
it?
that was the shortest poem that's ever been said.
Yes. Or yeah. And oh yeah, somebody wanted him to give a poem, and his response was me, we.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what you're working for. And the purpose of a bridge statement is to make sure that you get back on that point where you see each other as me,
Exactly.
we.
So here are some of the statements that can help you get back on. If you ever been on there, it might be the first time you'll get on the, how can I say it? Foundation that we, or you and her, are a we, and it's
Mhm.
not.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yes, yes. So we got 5 different bridge statements that we're going to talk about that will help you out in that particular matter.
Mhm.
And one of the bridge statements that we hope that will really help you out outside of what we said, as we are on the same team aside, we are hoping that when you do think about it, you have to think about it in what we call a spiritual way too.
Mhm.
That spiritual way, and I know some of us are spiritual, some of us not. That's the only reason I'm being kind of hesitant. But I feel spirituality is very important in your relationship,
Mhm.
one way or the other.
Yes.
And you can make a statement of we are blessed by our spirit or by God. And our ancestors actually have put us together.
Yes.
We are on the same team. We are on the same side, or we are on the same team,
Mhm.
or we are on the same team. We are on the same side.
Yes.
So you see what I threw in, the inspirational side
Mhm.
that gives
Yes.
you a grounding or a purpose
Mhm.
to your relationship.
Yes.
That we're not just here haphazardly.
Yeah.
We're not just here because of the fact you just look good, I just look good, or I'm making a whole bunch of money.
Mhm.
We're saying that a relationship is based on what we believe strongly is a spiritual base
Connection.
and connection.
Mhm.
And because of that, we are blessed to be a we or
Yes.
be in a relationship.
Yes.
What's your thought on that?
I think that is the best way to look at it. When you take into consideration that you are purposed together, that takes away all the little tiny bickering that you can come up with. Well, I don't like the way you combed your hair today, or and that's stressing me out and making me angry, or I didn't like the fact that you left your sock on the bathroom floor. Why didn't you pick it up? That's got me stressed out. That's not why you're purposed together. If you can let that go and you can focus on the statement, we are blessed, just starting and stopping there. We are blessed by fill in the blank, then that puts you on a different level.
Well, sadly, a lot of us in our relationships, or a lot of folks in the relationship, don't feel that the relationship is based on a purpose,
Yeah.
a predestined reason
Yeah.
that we are to be together. Now, you felt a lot of that the first time you did that courtship thing. Most of us did. Some of us didn't. We were probably told to get married, or what is it? One of those arranged marriages,
Yes.
or whatever that was.
Yeah. But still, in that case, you could have been, purposed by
that's very, very true.
by the same type of situation.
Exactly. And that
Yeah.
you're right. In that particular purpose,
Mhm.
you might be serious about it. I mean, you might believe that.
Mhm.
And therefore, if the other particular mate believes that, then you can walk very well together because you believe very strongly you have a purpose to be together. Either my mom and dad told me this, or of my ancestral background, or
Mhm.
someone within my
Yeah.
culture, within my village, within my church.
Yeah.
And I could understand that. But if you don't have any, which a lot of us in America
Do not.
especially don't have whatsoever that
Mhm.
happening to us, it's like a free love, free how you want to connect together. Then it's not going to necessarily happen that particular way.
Mhm.
And you're not going to necessarily feel after the honeymoon portion, especially after the kids, that we are purposely to be together.
Yeah.
What is our purpose
Yeah.
being together?
And
Why are we connected?
yeah, and
know
if
what
you
I'm
haven't gotten that figured out before the kids, that stress is going to be stress.
saying? It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very, very stressed. So this particular statement, as we're telling you about, basically here are some of the thoughts that we have behind that statement. That one statement we just said before: we are on the same side, or we are blessed by God or our ancestors to be together. If our openness turns out to be more opposite, okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
if your openness, being open to one another, turns out to be more that we seem to be more like opposite,
Mhm.
and it makes us feel as if we are pushing and pulling against one another, though we are really trying to go in this, we're really trying to go in the same
Mhm.
direction. Okay.
Yes.
Well, at least this is our original intentions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you can know if this is what's happening, you being open, you're going to have to try that. What?
You're going to have to try the bridge statement.
Yes.
Yes. You're going to have
Somebody's
to.
got to think about
Yeah.
trying that bridge statement, because you try to get open as can be.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to speak, and I'm talking about hopefully your voices ain't raising, but
Right.
that could happen.
Mhm.
Okay. You hope you're not going to be too emotional, but you might
Excuse
be.
me.
But if that happens and that kind of feeling
Mm-hmm.
and words come out that you're mostly opposite, then, and you feel like you're pushing and pulling, you're in a battle, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a conflict.
Yes.
That's definitely going to be stressful. Yes.
Yeah. And
That
I
statement,
apologize for my
right.
allergies keeping me sneezing here.
That statement, that's what I
Mhm.
meant. That statement is going to help us out
Yes. It definitely.
in bringing us back to our
Mhm.
purpose.
Yeah, because you cannot make a statement like that and ignore it and go on with the fighting. That's almost like a come to a screeching halt, because you got to think about that.
Exactly.
You know, that when a statement like that comes through, you know that somewhere, one of you, whoever makes that statement, has been spoken to in such a way that it came from deeper than just the pettiness that's
Yeah,
going
we got
on.
about 1 more minute. I'm gonna last here, but we have 4 more to go. So make sure you come back next Thursday at 6 p.m. Get your friends, your neighbor, and everybody else to come listen to it. But this actually happens a lot in long-term relationships. We have found that in a major contribution to a lot of marriage strife, relationship strife, is the fact that we specifically deal with this in the manner of our fights. We do that a lot.
Mhm.
We are stuck in the opposites.
Yes.
It happens in a lot of long-term
Yes.
relationships. You get down that line and go that kind of direction.
Mhm.
You get more to see where the coffee in the morning he likes, and she don't seem to want to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a little thing we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Exactly.
In that long term, because you're with that person every day, all
Mhm.
the time. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so you look at it as being opposite. It could be as simple as, I want my child to be going into this particular thing, and you
Mhm.
feel, no, my child too, I don't believe it should be going into that
Yeah.
particular thing, because this is what I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And
so
that's
you
one of
speak
the
it
problems. It
opposite.
becomes, for her, it's my child. For him, it's my child.
Mhm.
Instead of both of them saying our child.
Exactly.
That's where that separation starts right then, and that tug of war.
We better let it go. Hey, thank you very much. We'll be here next time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll continue on with this topic about bridge statements. Go ahead and take it away, our engineer.
like this. I like this.